try some voice here. Hold it. Alright, for the rear track bar, I had to use basically this 19mm socket. I don't think it needs to be deep well, but the deep well actually probably helped as far as the spacer. I used this extension, probably about 24" or so, extensively with this vice grips. Was this TX55? So Torx 55, T55. I used, for the first time ever, I bought this for the job and just to have. It's a Craftsman hinged ratchet, but the pawl mechanism is everything that the everybody's reporting that it is, in that they're crap. The pawls have given way multiple times. I just crushed my knuckles right there because the pawls gave way on trying to unloosen something, so I'm probably going to take this back. I bought this at Ace Hardware, but I don't think Craftsman is anywhere near the quality that it used to be. I have almost all Craftsman tools, but I have a bunch of older stuff. 2 pry bars. I used this just to get it in there in little bits. Pretty much this to get it started, to get this end of the rear track bar pulled out. This end down here was down by the shock. It's the lower end, and it was easier to get out. And then secondary, I took this end out, and it was a real pain. It was stuck in it's kind of like a ball and joint or a hip socket almost. You know, there's a flange or something that goes around it, and it was boxed in there pretty well, and it was really tight getting out. So I had to slowly pry with this until I could get enough space with this. And even with this, it didn't readily come out because you're prying. As you're prying, it's going up into the socket. But eventually it came out. You know, a lot of work. That was actually a couple hours. This front track bar was really easy. I've got a 19mm on the front, 21mm socket on the back, and then of course the Torx 55 on the front and a 19mm on the back of it. To let me show you that. Here's the upper side, the passenger side, upper side. That's the 21 and the 19 sockets. Over there's the Torx 55 and the 19mm. And I didn't take the rear wheel off to get to this. I thought I could get to it, and I probably could have without taking the front wheel. The only reason I took the front wheel off is I just got this cheap, and I wanted to check the brakes, see how much brake pad material I had left. I'm probably gonna buy brake pad material anyways, or brake pads, blah, and calipers, and maybe even rotors. Just invest in it, you know, make it right. But yeah, that's it. It came out. The rear track bar took a couple hours of wrestling around. I did not have the Jeep even jacked up. The front track bar took minutes, really. So that's it. Oh, I learned something with the rear track bar. The front track bar, really, before I came out here, about 30 minutes or an hour before I came out here, I sprayed all the bolts I was going to get to, plus a few other bolts that I might need in the coming weeks to get to for lift kit. But I sprayed them all with parts blaster, PB parts blaster, and that probably went a long way to make it easier to get out. Just expect to get real dirty, real greasy on these old Jeeps, I guess.